Fortnite is a game that needs no introduction. Fortnite is perhaps one of humanity's greatest achievements. Even the Mayan calendar was often misinterpreted to predict the end of the world in 2012, but what it was actually predicting was the E3 trailer for Fortnite's announcement. Even the Mayans knew the importance Fortnite would have in the future. And not even they could have predicted just how powerful Fortnite would become. And I'm sure you've already heard the devastating news that can make the world stop rotating. Fortnite has been banned from the App Store and the Google Play Store, but no one really gives a fuck about that. I know this is a very difficult time for many of us out there, but to all the therapists out there, it's about to be a great fucking time for all the overtime pay they're about to get consoling these screeching and screaming children who now can't play Fortnite on their iOS device. Now, in light of Fortnite being banned on the App Store and Google Play Store, I'd like to come forward with an announcement as well and say that I too will be banning Fortnite from any future app distribution services I may launch. Not that I'm planning on launching any, I'm a fucking Neanderthal when it comes to technology, but should I ever create an app store of my own, Fortnite will be banned from it. Not for any reason other than it just sounds kind of fun right now, just to follow the trend. So now let's dive deeper into this massive issue that's got the world by the nutsack and has made the sun stop shining. Why is Fortnite banned from the App Store? Well, it's because Epic Games introduced a new way of buying V-Bucks that bypassed Apple's 30% cut through the App Store. This was a violation of Apple's terms in the App Store, so it was naturally banned. Now, obviously, Epic knew this was coming because they had a whole marketing campaign launched behind it. They had an entire little machinima skit ready, which I'll share with you now.
Today, we celebrate the anniversary of the platform unification directives. For years, we have taken our tribute, and our we shall prevail.
This is like something out of Judgment Day when the humans were rising up to stop Skynet. This is very powerful stuff. Are there tears in your eyes yet? Epic Games has defied the App Store monopoly. In retaliation, Apple is blocking Fortnite from 1 billion devices. Join the fight to stop 2020 from becoming 1984, and then they add hashtag free Fortnite. There's actually a parody on one of Apple's older commercials where they use something very similar, talking about the fear of 1984 and monopolistic technology shit. Epic Games is doing the same thing, and people are taking sides. The war has begun. You have Apple fanatics, you have Fortnite fanatics, and both of them waging war on each other right now. I think there's nothing more pathetic than being some kind of brain-dead loyal zombie to a multi-billion-dollar corporation that actively looks for ways to squeeze every penny out of your mama's wallet. But to each their own. I mean, everyone's going to have their own favorite sport. If you want to just mindlessly cheer for a mega corporation against a mega corporation, go for it. Now, if someone put their ass to my face and threatened to fart in it if I didn't pick a side, I'd probably choose Epic in this debate here. Just because I really just fucking hate Apple. Apple can suck the dirtiest part of my butthole. Apple does a lot of terrible things, a lot of terrible practices, and to be honest, a 30% cut of purchases through the App Store is way too high. I understand that's kind of like an industry norm, but that doesn't mean it's right. 30% is just significantly higher than I think it should be. So I'd side with Epic Games here, even though Epic Games has a lot of terrible shit they do on their own. And this whole thing here is very clearly just a marketing ploy from Epic to rally against Apple, hopefully get a little more money out of it. It's just a big money play because it's always a money play with mega corporations. There's nothing noble about this fight, but that doesn't mean that it can't actually be a beneficial thing for a lot of smaller developers, because let's say if somehow Epic does squeak this out from their ass cheeks here and they do get the percentage lower from 30% to something more like 20 or 15%, that's really good for a lot of smaller developers that get suffocated by that extremely high percentage. It's just, I don't really see that happening. It's pretty cut and dry. Epic agreed to the terms and service of Apple and then actively took a shit on it. They said, yeah, we agree to these terms, and then just fucking slapped them around and did the exact opposite behind their back. I don't really see them realistically winning this case. I don't think a judge would look at that and be like, huh, well, Epic wins. Unless, of course, Epic was offering him free Fortnite skins or a level 100 battle pass or something. I just don't see that happening. But if it did, it really would be good for a lot of the smaller developers. I don't really give a fuck about Epic Games' benefit from this because they're already a multi-billion-dollar company that is printing money every second. Or even better for everyone, if Epic is somehow able to pull off this miracle on ice and actually get Apple to just relinquish its monopoly on distribution on iOS devices and make it so there could be third-party app distributors on their platforms. That would be absolutely massive, where you don't have to use the App Store if there's another service that's offering something better on the iOS. For example, Steam and Epic Games Store. Both do the same thing, but you're going to use each one for a different reason. You pick and choose. It's competition. They don't have that on iOS. It's only the App Store. You are being fucking strangled like Bart Simpson to use the App Store if you want apps on your iOS device legally. If Epic Games does somehow pull this off where they can actually open that up to having other platforms for apps on the iOS device, that would genuinely be fucking massive. The reason I'm even talking about this is just because I find it extremely entertaining that Epic Games is playing this like a YouTuber. Like, they've basically just released a diss track on Apple by using this commercial parody, comparing them to like 1984 and shit like that. I think that's wonderful. They clearly had all of this prepped and ready. They sued the same day. They dropped this the same day. This was all very calculated, and I fucking love that. I think that's actually really entertaining, and I truly hope Epic Games doubles down on these attacks on Apple. I want them to introduce a Fortnite event where you have to dig up Steve Jobs' corpse and it gives you special loot in the game. I want them to have like a Travis Scott concert, but instead of like Travis Scott performing, they have some of Apple's unpaid workers going over how terrible it was to work for Apple. I want them to like change the Fortnite game map, remove Tilted Towers and replace it with one of Apple's sweatshops. I want them to just go hard in here, because that shit, I think they're already off to a great start. They may as well just go all in, balls deep in this shit. I really think that'd be incredible. You could have like a John Wick versus Tim Cook Fortnite event or something where you can spawn in as Tim Cook instead of Thanos. I mean, just the possibilities are endless. I'm excited to see what Epic Games does with all of this. If they keep doing this kind of like 1984 parody shit they're doing against Apple, I'm excited to see where it goes. I really don't think Epic Games is going to win in this case. I really don't see that happening, but I'm just going to check it out from the sidelines, get the popcorn, stuff my face occasionally. It's not the most interesting story in the world, but at least it's something kind of unique and different. As for why the Google Play Store isn't a big deal, I see a lot of people saying, well, why is it only the App Store that's an issue? The reason why no one really gives too much of a fuck about getting banned from the Google Play Store is because this, for Android devices, there's a million ways you can get things on the Android device officially, as opposed to just using the actual Google Play Store. It's very open. You have plenty of options for getting apps on there besides just the Google Play Store. But for iOS, the only option you have, the only legitimate option you have, is going through their app store. That's the only way, the only verified official way of getting apps onto an iOS device is through their app store. So getting banned from there basically means you can't have your app on an iOS device anymore, unless you like jailbreak or some other methods, but no one can really do that since it's not official and verified. So getting banned from there is getting banned from iOS devices. Getting banned from Google Play is just like getting banned from your local library. You can go to a different one and still get the shit. There's plenty of other ways Fortnite can still be on Android, but that can't happen on iOS. But yeah, anyway, that's about it. Could this be the end of Fortnite? I mean, only time will tell. That's about it. See ya.